there's been a very dark and seamy side to our police department in this town, and that's what I'm here to talk about. When I lost the election 8 years ago, I never thought that I would be back here, yet here I am, in my 70s, old and frail, in spite of your threat, Mr. Monaco, okay, and I am appalled. I am appalled. I had a I had a session with the town manager on Monday. I shared my thoughts with him. I'm doing it with you folks openly and on camera tonight. You four have sanctioned the rehiring of an individual who, in my opinion, does not deserve to wear the Ashland uniform. When Margo and I decided to become involved in the catastrophe called the Ashland Police Department, there were people who worried for us. A woman came to our house to our office just last Friday, crying. She's so worried about us. That's the reputation that our police have in some quarters today. That's our sound human capital, as the temporary chief has described them at your last meeting. That you folks, that all was well. You can see it in your eyes that all was well. The stage was now set for the next police catastrophe because you've emboldened bad activity. You basically voted in that you can do anything you want, blog, cheat, carry on, do all kinds of bad things in the press and get away with it. This catastrophe is not a new one. It's over 8 years in the making, and there's a constant brooding present in the whole thing, Mr. Monaco. You're it. You helped run Chief Melnikoff. That was catastrophe number 1. Now it's Chief Romer, catastrophe number 2. And what is truly sad is that at least in the last one, the only true gentleman, the only guy that was soft-spoken was Romer. He never carried on, he never fought back, he didn't do any of that stuff. Margo, did you hand out what I want the 4 selectmen to get, because apparently they've not read the report? I would like you to read this report if you haven't so far. It's called the Ducey Report. The Ducey Report is a very damning report, okay? Forget that it says that Chief Romer was lied about and the charges were false, okay? What it really says is that the person who made out the bulk of the charges lied, 5 false charges, and what this report really means is that Officer Fawkes probably is not going to be able to go on the stand for the town of Ashland any longer, because every defense attorney in this state is going to challenge his credibility against it. They'll get him as a liar, a malefactor, somebody who's basically false charges. Heck of a policeman, for example. Once upon a time, and I want to spend a little bit of time on this, the grievance procedures were executed in this town, and they were spirited. I remember going toe-to-toe with Charlie Garbarino time after time after time to resolve stuff. Margo, could you put the other thing up there? Compared to grievance procedures, what happens now in the press is like an atom bomb. People can say anything, and they do anything in order to make their point. The conspiracy continues. This is a blog post from the Metro West Daily News just a week ago, okay? In it, my wife Margo is warned. She's warned not to participate. And in it, another officer of the town of Ashland is promised to be run off. That is really, really good stuff to see in the press, isn't it? And they've included my wife Margo in their vitriol. There seems to be nothing that these people, either in the department or associated with the department, will not do to make their point. And it must stop. There's just a few of the officers, many of the officers are strong, good people. But at the core of what's going on is a core group that are responsible for the conspiracy. And I'm calling it a conspiracy because it was orchestrated and very, very well orchestrated. Everybody wants this police department problem to go away. That includes me. But the 6 of you have got to be serious and careful about who you bring back. There are a bunch of people who left who you need to take a good hard look. Are they worthwhile coming back? You've already done one. You've already heard my opinion about the one. You prolong the problem when you bring back problems. You've got to knuckle down and clean the place up. You've got a new chief. We're going to have another chief after that. Don't give him some problems, more problems to handle when he comes back. In closing, I want to point out for all of you here what has happened to those of us who are trying to work against some of these issues that have been going on in the police department. A woman was threatened on the phone who brought people in here to support the chief, okay? And her husband's job was threatened. A family had another tire slashed in the front yard. Another family had dog feces thrown on their freshly cleaned patio. Another one's business was broken into, and as a consequence of it being broken into, it looks like malware was put in his computer because his computer started spewing Chinese spam. I don't think it does a lot of trolling for stuff in China. I believe our house was broken into the night of town meeting because one of our PCs was also totally trashed. And worse, somebody tried to get into the Bank of America account for the Ashland Emergency Fund. Only Bank of America's got good protection, and it was blocked. What's common in all of this? All of these people that had this happen to stood up for Scott. Now, Scott's gone. Scott is gone. He's not coming back, and by golly, we're going to make certain that the lingering problems go away. We started this whole effort with about a dozen people. We're up to 35 core people now who are willing to stand up and hold signs and make stuff happen. And there's another 50 to 75 who have volunteered information. We're going for 500, folks. That's what we're going for, and we're going to get it. What's our objective? Very simple objective. No more behind-the-scenes dealing, no more backroom negotiations of who gets what, okay? It's all going to be out in the open, and we're going to publish it up on www.ashlandcac.com. If it's public, if it's available, it's going to go up there. And I invite everybody in this town to go take a look at some of the stuff that has been documented going on in our police department. It's sad, some of it. And some of it's really silly. It's raunchy, silly school children stuff. So if you've got documents and you know about these things, call us. Email them in an anonymous fashion to ashlandcac.com, the email address there. We'll put it up. Your name will not be associated with it. Send an email, make a telephone call. We'll put your voicemails up there. We've got videos going up there. We've got all kinds of stuff that's going to go up on that site. But this has to stop. Thank you very much for your time.